What's going on, Anchor Squad? It is your boy Janka, bring y'all back at again with another video. So this is gonna be on the Black Widow movie that recently came out this weekend. IGN did a review on it, so what I'm gonna do is watch their review and then put my review mix on their review. And then I'm also gonna show the Rotten Tomatoes score that it currently has later on towards the end of the video. So stay tuned. Let's check this thing out. Let's see what IGN has to say about this. Ultimately, there are people that have mixed feelings about the movie, but I'll let you guys know how I felt about the movie. But let's dive right into this thing, you guys. Three, two, one, go.
Black Widow is a thrilling, though heavy-handed espionage take on Marvel's standard fare that adds tragic depth to Natasha Romanoff's superhero story. A trained Russian assassin decked out in black tactical wear and an ever-changing range of hairstyles, Natasha Romanoff easily shrugged out of one identity and into her next, wrangling with a guilty conscience over her past lives. With Black Widow, Marvel is finally digging into that mysterious past, giving the original Avengers team's only woman far overdue time in the limelight. The film is, in a word, ambitious. It's a superhero flick, but also an espionage action thriller, a dysfunctional family drama, a send-off, and overwhelmingly a film about recovering from abuse. Much of it doesn't feel like a Marvel film at all, thanks to the darker tone used to tell the story of a Russian program that kidnaps young girls and...
Yeah, this movie did have a very, very darker tone than what I expected coming in. And it was mind-blowing the way that the beginning of the film was. That whole introduction scene. Like like the fact that Black Widow doesn't have a lot of gadgets and things that she used compared to Iron Man, whatever. The fight scenes and stuff are more realistic in a way, and it's just something about the fight scenes that just made them have more of an impact than a lot of other Marvel movies.
Trains them to become assassins. The film centers on affirming why Nat continues on the path of heroism beyond just escaping the confines of her past life. Though it resolves on a hopeful note, it leaves an aftertaste of intense tragedy for one of Marvel's original Avengers. It feels natural for Black Widow to be styled like a James Bond espionage thriller, complete with a broody title sequence.
The movie did kind of come off like that kind of James Bond-ish type of thing, but it worked though. It worked. It had a couple scenes where it looked like something from James Bond with the Black Widow twist on it, but it did work. It did work.
The film flits between international locales, motorcycle chases, rescue missions, and fight scenes in close quarters that have a real sense of urgency and mortality. It's a nice dial back from Marvel films whose heroes can feel immortal, threatened only by a villain like Thanos and the power of the Infinity Stones. Natasha isn't superhuman, but rather the most optimized version of a human, and when she takes a punch, it looks like it hurts like hell. When she fights Taskmaster, there's a sense of real danger. The fabric of the universe doesn't bend, and time doesn't shift, but the film is plied with pseudo-scientific, futuristic technology befitting a spy-tinged Marvel world. Black Widow is strongest when its leads Natasha and little sister Yelena Belova are fighting, whether against one another or working together. Florence Pugh does excellent work as fellow Black Widow Yelena. Her deadpan is pitch perfect.
I really liked Yelena's, acting and her portrayal in this movie. It was very powerful, a very, very great, sidekick to Black Widow, as far as strong female actors in the movie. She played her role very, very well. And I'm not going to get to the end credit scene yet, what was revealed. But, it was just crazy of how much of a fit she was. She was perfect for this movie. She was more perfect than what I've read and understood prior to this movie. And she just made this movie great in addition to Natasha.
Coaxing humor out of a traditionally stoic Scarlett Johansson.
Anytime now, please.
Shut up!
Okay, you got a plan, or shall I just stay duck and go?
Where Natasha
funny,
has coped
too.
by turning cold, Yelena has coped with humor. It's also thrilling to see a classic genre populated by more women fighters, a rare treat to see Pugh haphazardly operating a helicopter as Johansson parkours her way on foot, and Rachel Weisz rounds out the trio as the brains of the operation. For all of its inventive action pyrotechnics, Black Widow does eventually land in territory that feels more in line with the MCU. It chugs through scenes that affirm Marvel's traditional sense of found family. The idea that family is whoever you decide to fight for,
Yep.
and a hero is someone willing to defend even those outside of it. Natasha's found family of Avengers is contrasted with her dysfunctional planted childhood family of Russian spies. David Harbour and Rachel Weisz's performances as reluctant parents ground the drama in surprisingly relatable emotions. But Taskmaster fights for relevance, as the film dwells on family baggage, slowing down as it climbs up to its final confrontation between Natasha and her target, the man behind the Black Widow program. Black Widow also repeats some of Marvel's tiresome trends with women superheroes of their heavy-handed, cheesy empowerment messages. Consider Captain Marvel's montages of falling and getting back up again, and
Yep.
the cringy final comeuppance with her mentor Yon-Rogg. The MCU's women tend to have traumatic stories explicitly tied to powerful, abusive men, such as Nebula and Gamora, and Natasha is no different. Her film centers on surviving trauma and confronting her abuser, a man who is not quite as over-the-top evil as Thanos, but still refers to young girls as the world's most overabundant resource. In this context, deriving...
Yeah, there were some scenes in this movie that some people could find disturbing, but it does portray a huge message in terms of, you know, whether it's like, you know, towards women trafficking or any type of like illegal things towards women and fighting for survival and fighting for what's right and stuff like that. So this movie does deliver a great message against things like that, which is great. And but some people could find it disturbing to watch and things like that. So just be mindful of that. You know, if you find it disturbing, then you can you know, shy away from that part, or you know, go to the bathroom when that part comes and come back or something, if that's what you want to do. But overall, it was very impactful seeing those scenes.
Having strength from enduring suffering feels as slimy as it does tragic, a nail in the coffin to Marvel's handling of women superheroes. While Black Widow eulogizes Natasha Romanoff as a formidable, tough-as-hell hero with the clearest heart, it also intensifies Endgame's poor handling of her send-off, and the unbalanced level of respect given to her male peers. Natasha endured years of abuse and risked life and limb after escaping before sacrificing herself for a friend. She still deserves a real memorial.
Let's see what verdict they're gonna give this.
Marvel's long-awaited Black Widow solo film shakes up the classic superhero movie form. Styled like an espionage thriller, the film digs into Natasha Romanoff's mysterious past as a trained assassin, opening up about her family and introducing an inventive villain in Taskmaster. But while the film is plied with eye-catching action sequences, it struggles to strike a balance between action and family drama, and reinforces some of Marvel's tired tropes of women superheroes. It ultimately captures Natasha as a formidable fighter with unshakable morals, making her inadequate Endgame send-off all the more bittersweet.
IGN been giving a lot of movies and games like a 7 or 7.5 out of 10. I'm like, come on, man. Give it a solid 8. Give it a solid 9 or something, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy. Like, me, like, you know, I'm gonna wait towards the end of the video and I'll let you know what verdict I would have given. Oh, this is the end of the video. Okay.
We have unfinished business.
For more movie reviews and all things MCU, be sure to follow and subscribe to IGN wherever you like to watch.
All right, so Black Widow overall for me, I thought it was a great movie. You know, it was action packed. There was one long scene in the middle where it was kind of slow. You know, it took a little dip in it, but it was mostly used for character development. It was like, you know, 15, 20 minutes of character development in that one scene. But even though it was kind of dry, they did leave a little bit of funny moments in it here and there, where Yelena called, you know, the Red Guardian the Crimson Crusader or something. And that was like funny. That was funny. Like everybody in the movie theater was laughing and everything like that. Like also in that scene in that movie, it was a little twist. It will be revealed in the towards the end of the movie of a little twist that went on during that part of the movie. I'm not gonna spoil it for y'all. Taskmaster was great. Every time Taskmaster was shown on scene, there was a sense of fear from Black Widow and Yelena and everyone. The punches and the fight scenes, they were impactful. Like, that dang, if you was getting hit by, even if you was getting hit by Black Widow, Helena, or Taskmaster, or anybody, like those punches, the sounds and everything, you just felt it. I was in the movie theater like, ooh, dang, whatever. Even the black, all the girls from the Red Room, like they even threw some hardcore punches. Like all the women in this movie was just, they were some bosses. They were some bosses in this movie. They did not hold back. They were very, very great in this movie. So whoever did the fighting choreographies and training for all of them, kudos to you guys. You guys were great. And this movie was more than what I expected to be. It was more than what I expected to be. Before going into the movie, I would have given it like a 6, but I'm giving it a 8, solid 8, man. This was great. This was way better than the Captain Marvel movie. Way better than that. And I think another thing why it probably scores higher on a lot of people's radars, because this was one of the first Marvel movies, after or during the pandemic or whatever you want to say, that people have been coming back. That this the first movie that people Marvel movie that people been seeing coming back to the theaters. Like the theater was pretty packed when me and my coworker went to go see it Friday night. And like, to be honest though, when we were going to get the tickets, it seemed like it had a couple rows empty. But then by the time the movie started, we're like, dang, what? We didn't expect it to be this packed. Like, dang. I guess a lot of people came last minute to order tickets. They come from work or whatever. So, hey, it is what it is. And we went to one of those big AMC theaters. So, yeah, you know how those can fill up and it could be hot in there. But I'm glad they had the AC running pretty well in there. So that kudos to that. Kudos to that. Sometimes when we go see IMAX, it don't be that way and it be hot. But dang, overall this movie was great. There was one scene in this movie where they did a gender swap with some particular person. And I say gender swap because they're one gender in this movie and different compared to like the Spider-Man games and the comics and whatnot. But it does build onto the story of the movie. I don't care about it as much as a lot of other people do. You can see a lot of people reviewing on YouTube and some people saying that they were upset about it. But I don't mind it, to be honest. I don't mind it. I think the actor that was playing it was great. And I mean, you could tell there was some scenes where they probably had a stunt double with the fight scenes, because I'm like, nah, this person didn't do it like that. Like this person, but they can get away with it because it's easier to hide it. Like with some characters, it's easier to hide the stunt double. You got hair over here, you got helmets over there, shields over here, shields over there, like shaky cam. Like there's easy ways to hide, stunt doubles. I mean, they've been doing it. Otherwise, you'll have one of those funny movies where they have the stunt double revealing themselves in the dang on movie or whatever. That'd be funny as heck if you was able to see the stunt double in the movie. But man, overall, I give it a solid 8. Y'all let me know down in the comments what y'all thought. If y'all seen Black Widow, let me know what verdict you give it. And is there anything that you think will be added? Also, wait, I wanted to tell you all what happened in the end credit scene. All I want to say, the post scene. All I want to say is that in the post scene, Yelena is mourning over Black Widow's death, because during the Black Widow movie, this was in between Civil War and before Infinity War. So there was a 2-year gap. So because Civil War was in 2016 and then Infinity War was in 2018. So in between that time period, that's when Black Widow took place. So right now Natasha is dead, and the character that was revealed, I'm not gonna mention who was revealed with Yelena, when she was mourning over Natasha at the gravesite, but she said that she knows who killed Black Widow, and it was a picture of Hawkeye, you know. And then it ended at that part, and everybody was like, "Oh snap, whatever." That. So people are speculating that Yelena's gonna be either like the new Black Widow or whatever, and then going after Hawkeye or Ronin or whatever you want to call him, because he changes up based off of his persona. Whether it's like, you know, in Endgame, Infinity War, or whatever. But overall, this thing was great. If y'all like my reaction to this, post your comments down below. Like and share with all your friends. Subscribe to this channel for more reaction videos. Make sure y'all give this video a thumbs up. Jet Anchor on it down for 100,000 subscribers. And Jet Anchor is out.